Formula One is back after a short break away from racing, and we now have Miami to deal with. The circuit is, of course, based in Florida, which is home to mutant alligators, people who get nude at road rage, and, of course, hurricanes that ruin the state yearly. I don't know why people live here, so please explain, citizens of Florida. Anyways, the state is also home to the Miami track, which is everybody's favorite track, obviously. People love the elements of the track, like the fake water, the highway over the track, which shows the brilliance of American infrastructure, and the $5,000 tickets to see a pole and maybe some cars. Oh, and don't forget, this baby is here to stay until 2031. Normally, at this point, I will list off some highlights of the track, which shows its potential, but are there any highlights? We got Lando spinning right round till he goes down, Seb and Mick killing each other Anakin and Obi-Wan style, Checo getting dogged on by Max, which unironically ruined his career, and Lewis channeling his old terroristic traits by killing 3 people at the start. These may be the only 4 highlights of the track. Anyways, this track, despite its many flaws, has become important as of late. Like, isn't it weird that the 2022 race began Max's dominance in the sport, 23 began Max's reign in the sport, and 24 began Max's downfall in the sport? So maybe Miami does have some dog in it, and perhaps 2025 could begin Max's return in the sport. So dare I say, chat, why do I get a sneaking suspicion that despite the track being anti-racing, this race could be one of, if not the best race of the season so far? Maybe the delusion and depression is getting to my brain. So we'll have to see if my words hold true by looking at the teams who could bring upgrades here, the drama from the previous weeks leading up to the race, the ones to keep an eye on for, and of course, my predictions for the weekend. So go join the Discord to experience the weekend live and subscribe if you can't wait for GTA 6. So enough yapping and let us see the Miami preview.
See those clouds up in the corner? That's where the rain is coming from.
So let us begin with upgrades, and after a 1-week break, we can expect some upgrades for some teams and maybe even big ones for others. So this weekend, just like last year, could maybe change the course of the season. But remember, this is all mostly speculation, so keep that in mind. Anyways, let's begin with Alpine, and Alpine has got something to work with. Recently, they have been looking better with Gasly at least, and regarding Doohan, he is good, but he just needs that last little lock in before he could be up there with Pierre. Alpine are definitely the strangest team this season so far. Like, they're not performing like the 9th ranked team, but yet they are the 9th ranked team. Maybe it's because of some strategy mistakes, but I don't even know, since even in the races, I never see them on my feed. They are truly forgettable, but hopefully with some upgrades to their chassis, maybe they can come back and fight at the front again with both drivers. Next up, I have Minardi here. V-Carb are so damn confusing. These guys perform well in one session, drawn in another, then perform back to normal again. I have no idea what to make of them, but here is the good news. Liam is getting back up to pace, and Hadjar has been thankfully cooking, so regarding their drivers, Toro Rosso has nothing to worry about. What they should worry about though are 2 things: their chassis stuff like suspension and their strategy team. AlphaTauri needs to upgrade both, since these things are holding the team back tremendously, especially the strategy. The amount of times they have been in double points but threw it away because of like a 4-stop strategy, it's simply too ridiculous to even believe. So upgrade these things immediately, Racing Bulls. Next up is Aston Martin, and Aston are, you guessed it, confusing, but I think it's a bit less this time. These guys have fallen off so hard, it's not even funny anymore. Quite frankly, it hasn't even been funny since last year, since genuinely, how does a team bottle this hard? Everybody talks about how Lando bottles a lot, but like, you want to talk about bottles, look at the Stroll family. Hundreds of billions invested, nothing. Best engineers, nothing. Super good driver, nothing. So in terms of car upgrades, you know what I say? Do whatever. Everything needs an upgrade. So even if they're just updating the glass on the mirrors, hey man, I'm sure it'll be some improvement. A much more competent team, however, is Haas, and considering how the team is based in the US, I think upgrades are a given. Despite the team somehow having 20 points, the car is in need of some upgrades since the car just looks a bit boaty. I would think the car last year was better, so just imagine when the car this year reaches that level. Ocon and Behrman, contrary to what everyone was saying, are performing brilliantly. Esteban clearly likes Ollie and doesn't intend to harm him for now, and Ollie has been such a superstar this year. Both drivers have gotten results, so the upgrades that will come here will hopefully progress this team further up the grid. Ferrari. Oh man, Charles, your P3 has moved me. I bought your merch as well, so I swear to God, if you fail in Miami, my blood will be on your hands. Anyways, the car. The car is shit. The car needs lots of upgrades everywhere. The car is just nomming away at the tires, and the aero is not the best, which, contrary to what Enzo Ferrari said, aero does matter, and this car ain't it. So hopefully some nice upgrades can come here, and if not here, definitely in 2 weeks for Imola, which hopefully means our season can start finally. Please, for Lewis's sake, he deserves a good car. Next, I have Red Bull here, and I'm positive that a huge upgrade package will come to Miami. How glorious would it be if this track, which saw Red Bull's downfall last year, will host their rise again this year? If their upgrades, which are too many to count, work, hey man, Piastri v Norris v Verstappen title fight, I won't complain, that sounds peak. Plus, this is great for Yuki too, since if the upgrades work out for him as well, Yuki could finally live up to the promise he keeps showing in the car. However, big disclaimer, this is Red Bull, you know, the team that with every single upgrade the car becomes worse for the second driver. So if you're a Yuki fan, I say, pray at night, starting now. And finally, I have McLaren, who just can't get enough, can they? Now, it's been reported that they're actually swapping off an old part of the car, as well as bringing some minor stuff, so they're really only here because they could get faster with these changes. But make no mistake, this could be a bottle if they somehow ate some stupid pills, so let's hope that is the case. So enough about upgrades, now let's talk about the drama over the weekend, and of course, we have some big ones. Let us start with the Russell Red Bull rumors that have spawned. Now, for those who don't know, George Russell's contract with Mercedes expires this year, and this has naturally led to rumors regarding his future. In my opinion, you'd have to be more delusional than me to think he would leave Mercedes now, especially with the new regs coming soon. However, there are still rumors with him and Red Bull. Now, these rumors are only here because of some sightings George had with some of the Red Bull guys, but that could mean anything. The sightings could have just been George returning their pen that fell on the ground or something. Again, I see no reason why George will leave Merc, especially when he is now the team leader and maybe has a juicy car for next year. Which, speaking of, the next story we have is the engine regs for 26 and some new info about them. Firstly, there were reports saying that maybe the regs would last like 2 years or something before swapping over again to the V10s. However, these rumors have since been proven false, with the FIA saying that they are committed to the 26 regs. These rumors only started in the first place because quite literally, no one is happy about these regulations. Teams are complaining that the cars are severely underpowered thanks to the engines being like 50% electric, which has now led to new rumors saying that the FIA may tone down the electric side of the engine by a bit. I mean, there were reports saying that the cars would be slower than F2, so clearly something has got to be worked out. Anyways, with the engine regs in 26 being all but locked in, there are of course reports saying who is likely to cream all over the field in 26, and these reports say that the creamer will be Mercedes and maybe Honda, and everybody else will be the creamed on. Merc especially are reportedly super OP for these new regs, which I swear, if this just leads to 2014 and 2016 all over again, the FIA has got some answering to do. But yeah, other reports say Honda are actually looking great, Ford and Ferrari are behind, and Audi are in hell. So who knows what next year could bring in the performance chart. Next up, I have Max angry at the FIA for the penalty he received in Jeddah. Now, I'm only going to briefly mention this because these talks have been drawn out, and quite frankly, I don't want to deal with toxic comments. Anyways, Max was pissed off about the pen. For context, the race starts and Max leaves the track, but that's only because Piastri pushed him off. Now, normal protocol would be, if some bullshit head of the apex shit happened, Max needed to give the place back, but he did not. So if he doesn't, that means the FIA says to him, give the place back. However, he instead got a 5-second time penalty, which was out of nowhere. He was pissed off and was seen talking to Few or So I Am after the race, and then giving no comment at every single interview. People think something is fishy, and because it is MBS we are dealing with, I believe them. Anyways, not much here, just wanted to yap about some more MBS drama. Finally, I have Daddy Vasor being mad at the media because of them saying Lewis is washed or something. Basically, he got really mad and said they were speaking bullshit when it came to them suggesting that maybe Lewis is not fast anymore. You tell them, Freddie. My stance is Lewis is not washed, however, he's not in his prime anymore and just needs to adapt further with the car and the car getting better, obviously. I mean, we already saw what he can do, it just needs to be a regular occurrence now. Please don't let us down, Ferrari. Now for the ones to watch, and I of course have Red Bull. Like I said in my upgrades portion, Red Bull are bringing big upgrades here that could decide the season, dare I say. Again, it would be poetic if they have a rise similar to McLaren last year, so who knows, keep your eye on them anyways. Alright, predictions time. As always, it must be said that we will predict 3 things: the top 5 in the quali, the top 5 in the race, and a random prediction from any session. It should also be noted that these predictions are based on nothing but pure vibes, so bear with me. Now for the sprint predictions, because yes, this is a sprint weekend, and for the sprint pole, I have Piastri, and for the sprint win, I have Piastri yet again. Now for the quali predictions, and I predict that the top 5 on Saturday, starting with 5th, will be Lewis Hamilton, and 4th will be Charles Leclerc, and 3rd will be Lando Norris, and 2nd will be Max Verstappen, and for pole position I have Oscar Piastri after yet another tight qualifying session. Now for the race predictions, and starting with 5th I have George Russell, and 4th I have Lando Norris, and 3rd I have Charles Leclerc, and 2nd I have Oscar Piastri, and the winner of the Miami Grand Prix is Max Verstappen. Now for my random prediction, and I think there will be 2 safety cars in the second half of the race. Also, make sure to join my Discord to make your predictions for the weekend and have a chance to appear in the winners and losers. So that was my weekend preview for the Miami Grand Prix. Like I said before, I am strangely optimistic for this race, and I really feel like we could be in for some nice action. However, this is Miami, so this could just be another horrible race and not a soul would bat an eye. But I hope for the best, just like always, and I just need some good old content to milk on from this weekend. Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out to all members of the vlog for their continued support, and make sure to join if you want cool benefits, as well as just helping me out. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe since it really helps me out, and make sure to let me know in the comments what your predictions are. And as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.